Charon, let's go. Wait, Charon and Honey Bear? That's a lot of poop. That's a lot of poop. Oh no. Oh yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I'm tired, chat. Welcome back. Sunday night. Viewer game night. We may have a pseudo ASMR stream again because I got quite literally zero sleep. And given that I was up very late for the previous 2 evenings, getting very little sleep then, as you can imagine, it's not going well. It's not going well. So, hopefully everyone else is having a better end to their weekend, start of their week. See how it goes. But what's good, chat? What's going on? Got a goofy emote? Looks like a box. I don't know what that's from. Feel like I got jinxed because after we talked about possible ultra rares I could get from a dreadful pack and you brought up the proposition of Leshy being worse pull than Sockass and somehow magically I got Leshy. I wish I could control the powers. Rye bread. I wish I could control the powers. What's not going well? I literally just explained it. If you heard the part where it's not going well, you would have heard all the other parts too. But we got some viewer games, chap. We got viewer games. I don't know how many we got because I didn't get a chance to look. I was busy sending out some notifications and some details about Fright Night. So if you're not aware, and it's good that we'll get this out at the beginning, we run a few Phobies tournaments. We run the weekly ones. Monster of the Week, aptly named, one would think. And then we also run monthly events, and we have some monthly events coming up, and that would be Fright Night. So if you're interested in playing in Phobies tournaments, hit up the Random Slots Discord. Details are there. That's where you'll hear about it first. By the time this goes live, hopefully we'll have officially ironed out the details, but I put the tentative ones into my Discord already, and we'll see how it goes. Now, we do have more than we usually do in the queue tonight, so I don't know how many may or may not have been broken by the patch. Shove Shark has been patched, but I don't know if it actually broke them. It sounds like it may just cause discrepancies in the replays themselves, so Shove Shark would behave differently than it's supposed to, but not that the replays broke. So we'll see. We'll see. What happened to Tiny Terrors? Nothing. We've run it a few times. I just have to hope the horrific pack I open doesn't give me Zomboni. Yeah, that would be less than stellar. That would be less than stellar. Major balance patch for SC2. We're so up. Ooh, any co-op changes? I don't, like, so they got a Heroes patch. They got an SC2 patch. I'm waiting for the Warcraft 3 patch. I wonder how much influence Microsoft is actually having. Very curious. Very curious. We'll see. We'll see. But I do have to let everybody know, got to get this out of the way, especially at the beginning. Before we jump into things, I am part of the content affiliate program. That means the Phobies team does, in fact, give me in-game coffee for producing Phobies content. You can kind of see the number there. We had a little timing mishap with the content affiliate distribution and then the most recent pack opening, but we still got to open almost 40,000 coffee worth of packs. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It was some fun. It was fun. But yeah, let's get into it, chat. Let's see what we got. I will have one of the other matches that it turns out did not fall off people's profiles or get screwed up for Monster of the Week last night go up as a 2-minute top level plays video later this week. So if you want to see that, there's some cool stuff going on, including a little Prometheus game action. This one is back from 210, and it is not favorited. Well, what is your game plan here? Now, I'm very tired, so I'm going to triple check. It is not favorited, and it says it's from 210. That one's just... Okay, so the notes say big brain play to kill 2.0 without Moffat dying. That game is favorited. No, it is not. No, it is not. The opponent's name is supposed to be Griner. Griner. That is not favorited. So I guess at the time it was submitted, it was favorited, but incorrect. We got to skip that one. There is another Noobsim game on here, so we'll look at that one. All right. All right, we had to skip the first Noobsim game because, unfortunately, it looks like it fell off the profile. Ironically, Noobsim put in the notes for the other game that it is favorited, but it wasn't favorited, so no game. Or at least I didn't see it. So we're going to do the other one. The notes for this one are Crazy Match, Rocket Man, Yeti, Honey Bear, Cyclops versus 3.0, Gonzo, Minotaur, Bad Side. That just sounds like... That's weird. Let's see what's going on. Switch scenes. Yep, we got there. We got there. I'm doing it. It's just gotta take it easy. We don't want to pull something here, Chad. I'm getting old. Like I can't push things the way I used to anymore. Rocket Man mentioned. I know Luffy's ears are gonna perk up. Luffy's going back to sleep. He just mutes the stream, keeps it on in the background. Shout out to the lurkers out there. We're getting a fairly standard opener for what was described as a like, absolutely insane game, I'm not going to lie. This allows for somewhat aggressive push. I mean, it is possible for a bad guy to clear these 1 keys out, but especially on this map, I'm telling you, I just don't like Henrietta and Boomer and these 1 keys that just can't interact with other 1 keys effectively. In this case, it looks like they are going to die anyway. Okay, so why did bad guy not have the Henrietta recap the point then? Like, why slide it up here? To threaten the cassowary? Is that really necessary? You know, it's got to be a tough life being a 1 key. Being a 1 key phobie has got to be a tough life. You were born into a very cruel world. A very indifferent world that is just hell-bent on your execution. Honey Bear. Honestly, Chad, is Mount Blight... Now, Mount Blight's no longer in the rotation. I wonder how many people the next time Mount Blight is in rotation are going to be on this Honey Bear plan, because it seems to have, like, really picked up some steam. And to be honest, I like it. I just think that... And we talked about this a long time ago, I think in the context of The Floor is Lava. But I'm kind of the opinion, if it's a good Honey Bear map, it's a bad map. Because... Or no, you know what? It was probably in the context of the Once lore. Because, Urk, I think you were the one championing the Honey Bear on the Once lore, right? Or am I misremembering? Somebody was. I think it was Urk. And if it's true, I remember having a conversation on stream of if Honey Bear is good on the map, it's a bad map. Because that means that you can safely just drag the game out to 1 billion turns. All right, now we're getting weird. We've officially put on our clown shoes and nose, and we're getting weird. What? What? Really? Really? I mean, alright. I get it. That's not ridiculous. Kivo just gonna tank the lava. They're both the weakest and most important, though. I'm assuming that's about the 1 keys. Sorry, I gotta sidetrack the Honey Bear thing, but yes. Yeti's a dumb play. Yeti's... Yeah, Yeti's kind of a dumb play. I don't know why. Like, 9 times out of 10, Yeti is not good. The Once lore is an exception. It's not a bad map because of Honey Bear. It's just a bad map. I mean, it's not... None of these maps are bad because of Honey Bear. They are highlighted as bad because Honey Bear promotes what I'm going to call a toxic strategy. Like, so every time I see Karst post, and I'm not like, I feel like I say this all the time. Like, I'm arguing with Karst, and he's never here to defend himself or his ideas. But this is not an attack on Karst or his ideas. But, like, I understand saying, as Karst, that, hey, these elongated, like, one-key trading ward maps or the once lore where it's just super long and terrible and whatever, like, all these maps that are along these lines. This is such a random Minotaur. Why is Minotaur showing up? I don't get it. Oh, excuse me. But I also like the Hevo safely on the lava, ironically. Like, that's actually a galaxy brain play. Like, real talk, I'm going to get sidetracked on this, so I want to give credit where credit also... I think I'm going to write this down for the thumbnail. Just make the title poo spray. Bath time for Team Hevo. No, that is just... That is disgusting. I love the 3D effect, dude. I'm now, like, Inception digression. We are now, like, 9 layers deep on digressions, and I don't know what's happening anymore. What the hell was I even talking about before we got the poop-nado here? All right, just making notes on this. Oh yeah, so like Galaxy Brain play, being on the lava, because if bad guy tries to freeze you, then you're already on the lava, which means you'll thaw like immediately, and then Hevo just goes ham, right? So heads up play there, because, and we've talked about this also at Karst's point, that the scaling doesn't really work that well. Once you get, I mean, this is relatively low. Like, the lava still matters here, but Hevo is pretty tanky, and eventually on the ladder, you just outpace the tiles, and it's just irrelevant. So you invalidate certain mechanics such as freeze. So, the other Karst point that I was going to talk about was it is fine to have quote-unquote boring strategies and really long ones, because some people like that. Like the one-key trading wars or the once lores where you stare at each other for a gazillion turns. Some people love that kind of stuff. Like, they revel in it. They revel in it. And it's okay for that to exist. It's okay to have different strategies. And that's where I disagree with Karst about, like... And I'm sure that Karst is not being absolutionist about it, where, no, you can never have this. Or maybe they are. Personally, I think the game should lean into quicker matches. Still meaningful, still relevant decision-making, but constrain the length. We don't need... we have like 50, 60 maps. We don't need 40 of them to be 60-turn-plus games. Like, that's just unnecessary. If there's maybe one map in the rotation each time that's like that, fine. And I think that's why they manually and hand curate the map rotation, is so that they can have... Well, this is the Lobber style map. This is the Stall style map. This is the that style map. This is the this style map. And then that way they can try to appeal to different player groups, different collection groups. How successful they are is up for debate, of course. So, digressionception aside, let's move on. Like how the spit sticks to nothing but the floor. True. I feel like animating the vomit all over everyone. See, like, okay, you just froze it. It's, well, there's the honey bear puke, so fair. You get a double freeze here. Honey bear puke means that the lava's turned off. But don't worry, because Minotaur to save the day. Minotaur, Wiggy, and Jar bodying Yeti. It sounds weird, but I do like that. I also like fast-paced games. The only thing I don't like is the heart rush racing. it's near the end of the game and enemy decides to go for heart, that's fine, but usually there are a lot of maps that people heart rush from the start and you have to participate in it. Like, the new one, Night Shift, seems to be like that. If you're player 2, the primary strategy for player 1 seems to be able to be a hard push, and you have to respect it right away, as we were finding out last night. But I think that's also, like, that's another, it's just an archetype. Like, that is a valid strategy. Hard pushes are a valid strategy in Phobies, and I think that it is fine for that to exist. It's also fine for you to not like it. Like, that is okay. Both are reasonable. And I think that having an oversaturation of one type or another is what potentially causes issues. Random thought. Ha! You really don't like Gonzo? Still? Still? Even after the nerf? 100% agreed, just not my cup of tea, and that's fair. That's fair. I think that I would prefer if every map, which this is like saying, well, I want every phobie to be equally viable. First of all, come on, let's calm down, buddy. It's the same thing as me saying, well, I want every map to have all the strategies viable. And to me, all the strategies would be, you could push the heart, you could kill all their phobies, you could win through a board control panic point situation. The maps are just going to inherently favor one or more of those strategies, and probably not all three. And I think if you have two of the three, so you can then strategically say, oh, I can't do A, so I'm going to do B, that's acceptable. Honest to God, Don Tinkle, I got the Addams Family song stuck in my head when I was reading your comment. He's creepy and it's awesome, but the damage is already done. He's creepy and he's kooky. He's altogether spooky. Some other rhyming lyrics. He's the Gonzo family. Got my pen. Hopefully Noobsim appreciates the digressions. But at this stage, Noobsim, this game was very weird. It was very weird. Hevo just put in too much work. Like, you can't let Hevo cook like that. My man's cooking up a party, and everybody's invited. Hard to design maps that favor all winning conditions fairly equally, even if it's not hard. I just have to imagine the maps would kind of all be samey. Yeah, I'd agree. And I think while people will want what I'm saying, like, most people, if you ask them, they're going to go, yeah, I want all the strategies to be viable so that way I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. And it's like, no, you probably don't. Most people do want the variety. That's why they complain about the meta. Because in the same breath, they're going to say, well, I want play skill to matter. And then they're going to say, but I don't want to have to play against the same things all the time. And it's like, that's not how games work most of the time. Like, people are going to use the best things, and then you just need to outplay the best things then. So it's tough. I agree. It's absolutely tough. But either way, GG Noobsim. Hopefully you appreciated the more esoteric discussions during your game. What's good, Gravedigger? How you doing? Hopefully you're not as exhausted as I am. All right, we got a little bean action. I love Vendy's adorable little birthday hat. Beanofevil, our hero here, going up against Joseph, 12-11. I don't know if that's, like... You can't tell me, is there... Well, maybe there is. Is there somebody in Phobies just straight up with the name Joseph? These are always my favorite internet names, when it's just a regular name. Like, Beanofevil is clearly not your given name in real life, right? But Joseph is probably their real name, so it's just funny to me. I don't know. Bloat plus Hydra plus Shove Shark equals madness. Now, this game was from the 6th, which was 4 days ago at the time of this recording, which means... I guess this was post-patch? I guess it was post-patch. dontinklsnif doesn't incite fear. I don't know. It's like sometimes you see a name that's just super silly. Oh, this is the bug. Because of the patch, you have to manually advance the replay. So this means that this was pre-patch, because we did get a boop here, even though, as you saw a moment ago, it did have the warm-up lock. So this is pre-patch. For anybody that's confused, that's why we got the boop on Unbearable right away. Patch is on the 8th. Yep. Checks out. We also get a tick. We also get a 4-0 panic point advantage. Ouchtown population bean, bro. I can't lie, I haven't seen the Addams Family in so long, neither have I. Like, I think the last time I saw the Addams Family was like 90-something. Like, it's last century, chat. Tick. That looks like an enormous amount of disease, like that flooding of disease everywhere. I wonder if that's the same animation or reused animation from the honey bear puke, because it's like the big splash and it covers all those tiles and stuff. Now, that being said, tick is 273. It's a pretty high level Unbearable. This might, if it stays in range, it might be able to tank through the disease. That's just a straight up dead tick. Get wrecked. Why let a disease there? I think because the Unbearable will just tank it. So right now, Bean is +3 keys. If he loses the Unbearable, there'll be -1 key. Well, I guess they're -2 because they just lost a 1 key, but like, you get the idea. I guess, but it stacks. What? What stacks? The disease? What have I missed? Did anyone play bloat in the other games? No, no bloats. Well, disease doesn't stack unless you're just meaning like the damage adds up over time, which I think that's what bad guys doing here is they're just backing off and they're going to say, okay, well, either you're going to leave Unbearable exposed because I'll attractor it, or you don't, and it'll eventually die. However, great plays with the Shove Shark mean that Hydra, apparently the natural predator of attractor, is going to get in their face. So our hero elected to leave the Unbearable, and speaking of stacking, disease and poison do stack. I always like how the symbol looks. Like, it's cool how it fades in and out. And that's dead Unbearable, so we're at 4 to 5. So really, that exchange, it depends on how highly you value Unbearable as a lob versus Tick as an AoE disease. Because getting that asset off the board, the Tick, even though it's a smaller key amount, may be worth it. You know what I mean? Like, there's an argument there, I think. I haven't really thought about it, so I don't know if it's a valid argument, but hopefully you get where I'm picking up what I'm putting down. Chat addicted to bloat per usual. True. Oh, yeah, we gotta advance. My bad. I'm like, why isn't the game going in there? Ooh, we got a little blinky action. We had to advance because, as mentioned, the whole Shove Shark thing. But, like, this Hydra is a big boy. Gonna do some big boy damage. Now, since this was pre-patch, I think there was no cooldown on the boop either, so I don't know why this Shove Shark is not, like, riding shotgun with the Hydra. This should be in this Hydra's pocket the whole time. Now, I kind of get backing off here because bad guy has 6 keys, attractor's available. You could just... I swear to God, chat, you summon these things. Why is there a bloat? Like, real talk here, you bloat enjoyers out there in chat. Why is there a bloat in this situation? Why did you go ice cream into bloat? Well, I mean, the ice cream is really for the Hydra, but... Can you Shove Shark your frozen phobia? I assume you can. Because I'm pretty sure you can attractor or, like, Rambolina a frozen phobia. Oh, we got the Shove Shark on the Blinky? This play is actually sick. Yo, this play is actually sick. Admittedly, this is pre-patch Shove Shark, but pretend that it's post-patch. You can get the cooldown and stuff to line up. You get the Hydra to clear the path through the Murder Wing, and then you get the Blinky follow-up to snipe the Jar? Bean, let's go. Dropping the hammer with the Shove Shark. He's so majestic. Bean, I hope you got a muffin. Guess we'll find out momentarily. Honestly, if the Hydra gets frozen, it could die. Like, there's a... Oh, that's a good noxious hit. Admittedly, only 2 poison, but you hit 3 phobies. Alright, Jill is the last phobie. We're not going to go... We apparently don't care about the poison. This is a dead noxious, isn't it? Maybe it's not. Ooh, we get the yoink into the freeze. That's probably a dead Hydra. That could be a dead Hydra. It is a dead noxious, though. Is this a throw? The Shove Shark utility. Oh my god. Yeah. Shove Shark is so good. Again, this is pre-patch, so like you wouldn't have been able to back-to-back boops like that anymore. How many zeros is that non-tinkle? Because that's a lot. I'm not counting all those. You ever have like... You ever look at a number like that, there's so many of a single number, like it's all ones or it's zeros or something. It's just like there's too many there. I'm not sitting there counting it. My eyes are going out of focus just looking at it. Could also be because I haven't slept in like 6 weeks. It feels like that. It only makes me advance a turn sometimes with boops. I don't get it. Either way, that's a bloat chasing down some mechanicals. Oh my god. Shove Shark! Oh my god. Shove Shark making bloat look like an MVP. And you know what's funny? Bloat didn't even get the MVP. Noxious did. That's all I gotta say about bloat. GG. Those were some big brain plays, I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty big brain. If I were a bad guy, I'd be upset. And I can understand why people were going ballistic in Discord about Shove Shark. But it got patched, so I took it off the watch list. Attractor's the only phobia on the watch list for Monster of the Week at the moment. Alright, Jeremy. Again, I love it when it's just regular names. Shout out to Jeremy. How to play versus how not to play on this amazing map. The opponent even crosses paths with a gargle strat. Got him! Oh, shout out to Jeremy again. You love to see it. You love to see it. Or love to hear it, I guess is a better way to put it. I love it. I love it. They robbed my boy. I don't know if you're upset about the bloat thing just random or you're upset about the word play. Because, yeah, shout out to Jeremy. I love it. I guess it works when they're meant to have the ability now. That's why it stops when it's supposed to be on cooldown. Probably true, Koro. That's probably true. I'm cringing about the wordplay. I love it. I love it. That's what you love to see. That's what you signed up for when you came here. Yo, chat, it's like seeing a unicorn. We saw someone take the bottom manic point on Knots and Crosses. I swear to God, I thought this Jin Sting was dead for a second. I was like, how is that thing dead already? But Mario and Luigi, well, they're mortal enemies at the moment. Better puns than the Phobies designers nowadays. You hate to see it, but That is true right now. The Phobies dev team has, in notable instances lately, been caught slacking. Most recent one I can think of is Frosty not being freeze ray. Like, come on. How is that? Like, the worst was that allegedly it was named freeze ray on Frosty, his ability. It was named freeze ray in dev and testing and whatever, and then they changed it to Blizzard. They're like, no, we don't want the pun. We don't want the cool name. We want the generic sounding name. And it's like, get out of here. Get out of here. Probably thought it was too simple. I mean, it's like, if you look at it at first, it's a freeze ray. It's like, all right, he freezes stuff. But then you think about it and you're like, wait, it freezes stuff and he's a ray? Come on. Brute worst ability should have been Wiener takes all. True. Did anybody ever open the request to change the name? Like, that 100% needs to get changed. What's good, DT? What's going on? All right, so our hero here taking control of the board. Bad guy, not a lot to speak of. They probably need to wait. They're going to have to sacrifice some 1 keys just to try and stabilize. My mind went to Despicable Me, Freeze Ray. I mean, fair. We're naming the Frosty ability to ray gun. That would have been cool. I think freeze ray is the best option, at least out of the suggestions I've seen thus far. Oh, railgun with an L. I thought that was a typo. It should probably have to be like ray-l-gun. However, they may just not want to have the word gun on one of them, you know what I mean? All right, our hero here with the first displacement tool on the board, the newly nerfed Bluelian. Bad guy answering with their own 8-legged monster. It has 8 legs, and it is, in fact, a monster. It's Miss Moffat. I'm waiting. It's starting to get warmer, chap. Daylight savings time. Stupid tradition. Screw me over. I'm waiting for all my 8-legged friends to start making an appearance in my house once again. I mean, they've probably always been there. Don't call it a comeback. They've always been here. All right, so this... Yo, it's gargles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 phobies, 5 keys. Probably not killing this gargles. Put a hurt on it, though. Can put a hurt on it, though. Panic point stabilized. Rambo? Really? That's a bold move there, Cotton. I mean, I get it. It's a 3-ranger, 3-mover, so it gets up there. It's now in position and ready to go, whereas even a regular 2-mover wouldn't be ready to fight on this follow-up turn, barring a weird invade by bad guy. But the displacement here, how are we going to leverage this? With the gargles, honestly, there's probably a world, because you could do, like, set up some weird angles. But the gargles here does allow for a panic point advantage 4-2 that it's locked in for a couple turns. However, bad guy is doing the alien engineer imitation. Still 11 keys remaining. Just pointing that out. Just throwing that out there in case people were curious. 11 keys remaining. Double displacement. Oof. Chad, this is brutal. This kind of felt like All right, eventually our hero is going to set this up. They had an extra displacement tool, and they had the advantage. Yeah, that is a lot of bees. All we need is Hercules, and we got the trifecta. I think it would have been way funnier if Hercules was, like, bright pink, so that you could have Mario Luigi. I'm confident that Ginsting and Hematic Ginsting, like, there was never an intention to have it be a Mario Luigi thing. But that seems to have become the moniker that Chad has named it as of late. Bad guy making their best effort at the retaliation here, bringing in Barzilla for reasons. But the reality is here, this is a lot of dead phobies. This is a lot of panic points that are suddenly blue. We got a honey bear. Presumably just to turn off the panic point on the bottom. Gargles is now vulnerable once again, but the Inoculus is not in a good position here. I don't know about that, Urk, but maybe. Gargles lives to see another day, as does this Ginsting. Rambo, however, pour one out. Rambo goes down. Ooh, that's B. There it is. This whole, like, the honey bear thing is funny, but, like, it is so irrelevant. I guess it's not irrelevant. It does keep additional pressure on bad guys' life total. But, like... Come on. That guy desperately trying to claim panic points back, but you're going to lose this, you're going to lose this. I don't think there's any way you lose the Noxious, or you could just go kill him. Just go win. I think the person who deals more damage to their opponent's heart is going to win the game. GG. Got him. Our week 1 reward, chat. Is it going to crash the game? It's going to crash the game. Phobies.exe has stopped working. You don't say. Is that actually happening, Urk? Like, is that a reference to, I'm assuming not, but, like, I don't know if something happened and you're making a joke about it. What's my gift? What, the Vendy gift for today? I actually didn't get one when I logged in, so I don't know what happened. I like to believe they would do it. I mean, Nintendo has historically been very litigious. Litigious. Well, we're about to find out what the Vendy gift is. Seems okay. Not bad, not bad. Do you get enough to get a level from that? Or was I just close enough? You know, there was actually... We'll get the digression out of the way before the game this time, chap. There's a thread currently going on in the main Phobies Discord where somebody's complaining that the Phobies that, specifically Phantom and Shove Shark, allow you to beat higher level Phobies and therefore should be nerfed, because you should never beat a higher level Phobie or higher stress level player. I mean, that's a take. That's an opinion you can have. And I responded to the thread and I said, no, there should be more of these phobies because levels are stupid and you should be able to win regardless of the phobie level. Like, the more phobies that we have in the game that close the gap, that allow a good player that just started the game to compete with a bad player or beat bad players that happen to be way over leveled because they just had been here since the beginning, is good. Now, there is an argument, like the obvious counter argument is, well, what about all the whales and what about that stuff? I'm too tired to like really dissect it, but no, I don't care. There are arguments in general to, like, you have to facilitate allowing people that are bad to win more often than they probably should in order to keep them interested in the game, and then therefore they keep playing, because you're always going to have more bad players than you're going to have good players. So generally serve the larger population, keeps the game afloat, but you know, until a good higher level player uses and just dominates, they're gonna dominate regardless then, right? Like, if you make a cross section of this, like you do a grid analysis, like it's bad player with phobie that's low level, what's gonna happen? They're gonna lose because they're bad. And then it's good player with high level phobie and they're gonna win because they're good. And then the other matchups you care about are bad player with high level phobie and good player with low level phobie, and how do those work? And making those more interesting, I think, is better. If it's powerful enough to compete right away, then there's the chance that the good player can continue to advance and prove their skill level. And the bad player, if the phobie is that powerful, can also sometimes win games, even though it's underleveled, and then they get excited about their new toy instead of having to wait 6 months before the damn thing is even remotely valuable. Which has always been one of my big complaints. It's like, hey, I got this new phobie. All right, I'll use it in 2026. No, that's stupid. But with the digressions out of the way that I'm sure we will return to, let's take a look at a Rosaldo game. The Shoving Tiburon, I guess? I don't know. Pushing his allies to the limit. Pun intended. All right. We've got Cottontail? That's not Cottontail. This is Mopsy. Mopsy. I had to think for a second. It's been a while since we've seen one of these. You got Phantom cards too? Nice. Nice. Chad, I have no idea what's happening in this game. There was a turn 1 Mopsy into Snappy. And then turn 1 Wiggy. I mean, the snowball is the most normal thing out of this entire... all these shenanigans. Everything else is weird. I prefer Mopsy over the others. She's the best. Sure. That's a werewolf right to the center. Because why not? Honestly, our hero kind of has to back off here. Like, you can't even put the Snappy or anything close, because if you do, this is going to transform, and it's just going to body them. Okay, we're going to stay there. You can't kill this. Yes, you can. Alright, so this was clearly pre-patch also. Again, it shows the warm-up, but that's clearly they killed it. As you can imagine, the devs intervened. So we didn't talk about this. I was planning on talking about it the other night with the breaking news stream title, but I think it's actually really cool that the devs responded so quickly to it. There's an argument that they could have just said, well, let's wait it out and see. There's an argument that, okay, this thing is really powerful. Who cares? Like, it's just really good. But they chose to make a change this fast, which I think is cool. And I'm anxious to see if we're going to get that velocity of changes going forward. Like, are we going to see that changes along those lines if there's a problem in the future that quickly? Because that's... I think that's really cool. Just found out that Boom doesn't activate Haffy's temper ability. That has to be a bug. Like, there's nothing unique about Boom to me that would say it should not activate it, so I would say report that as a bug. That has to be a bug. Shove Shark putting in work. Had to advance the turn manually. Bad guy is just out of sorts. I don't think they have any idea what's going on. So the weird opener from our hero here obviously was facilitated by the Shove Shark. And I don't know. Bad guy in shambles. I don't know if it's because Boom dies and dealing the damage. I'm sure that's part of the reason that the bug exists, but like that shouldn't have any impact on it. And that shouldn't mean anything. So this seems like an error because, well, maybe not. No, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say, like, the Inoculus could have shot from the stem, but maybe our hero didn't want that. We'll see. Honestly, I don't think it matters. Like, look at this. Even Boo Fairy. Is Boo Fairy actually going to do something? This Boo Fairy, did it attack? No, it got in and it powered down. Chat. Is Shove Shark going to make Boo Fairy viable? Is this a thing? Also, our hero has zero interest in... Bad guy responded with a Boo Fairy. What? I mean, they put Tiny Tim on the board also, so I don't know what the hell they're doing. Shove Shark is making a lot of things very, 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 very interesting. I feel like it was kind of hard for them to add the lock-on before with Cupcake. Now they made it possible to do it the right way. It sounded as though it was always possible, and then maybe it was more a red tape situation, Koro. That being said, I don't know. We don't know for sure. They would have to explicitly tell us, because it could be either. They, actual devs, said Haffy is programmed with the ability functioning like Stabby's counterattack. So if that's true, DT, then it would logically make sense why it bypasses Boom / Kaboom / Kerbloom. Because they're dead, so why do the damage? Because what would probably happen is it would probably lead to bugs, causing it to, like, do the thing, and, like, it would start the animation for, hey, I have to counterattack, but there's nothing there, so it would cause a bug. Possibly. Like, that makes sense. It's kind of silly, but it is what it is. Either way, in the meantime, we're getting, at a brief panic point advantage for our hero. Tiny Tim is threatening the heart for reasons, but we're also going to get Shove Shark shoving Cerberus right down bad guy's throat. A Boo Fairy action? Check out 2D Hydra. Papercraft Hydra. God, like, this is an enormous power down. So, real talk, I kind of want to now try Boo Fairy strats. Like, has anybody else tried this? Is this actually a thing? Because this game was weird. So, I don't know how much of this was... Is this Boo Fairy just dead? This could just be dead right now. It's not dead. It's close, but not dead. Shove Shark and Phantom open up what feel like an enormous amount of potential strategies, because these Phobies that realistically would never have connected because, I mean, well, we all know what Boo Fairy does or doesn't do. That Boo Fairy didn't even bother trying to power down the Cerberus. It just straight up ran for its life. So one thing that could happen here, and I'm pausing because I want to see what Rosaldo decides to do, is you just move, accept that this is going to take some lava damage because it's not going to die, and then you Shove Shark. Yes, it's showing on cooldown, but remember, pre-patch. You shove shark this right onto the hearts, you get 2 Cerberus hits. I have a feeling they'll just walk it up, but, like, that would be funny. Beating the snot out of Hydra. Nope, they're gonna go for it. This is better than putting it on the lava, also. I'm tired. Give me a break. I mean, you got to catch up to this tiny Tim sprint. I don't think that's going to be challenging. You got Cerberus about to just pummel the shit out of you. And just like that, GG. GG, Rosaldo. Well done. Well played. Shove Shark, chat. Seems like everybody has cool Shove Shark plays. I wonder why. I wonder why. Oh my god. I just looked farther down the list. Yo, we have a really funny name in there. We got a funny name in there. And I think we're going to get to their game. I think we'll have time. Like I said, since I'm so tired, we're not going to do extra games tonight. Some will get saved for next week, because I'm just wiped. I need to go to bed. Positive not saving the game replay. But it's still here on the profile. The new meta, Shovel, our king appears. Well, people ask for Shove Shark. You're going to get some Shove Shark, whether you like it or not. Positive play here. Oh. My ops got screwed up for a second. Alright, this is kind of an odd opener from our hero on Hold Still here. Everyone has it but me, apparently. It's cool, I'm not mad. Just that Pinapple on the list? Oh, that Pinapple's not the only funny name. Ooh, we got Shove Shark out of Bad Guy, too. We got a Shove Shark duel going on. I also refuse to believe that the devs didn't have Shove Shark as, like, the internal testing name. I mean, like, it's just so obvious, right? It's a shark, and it shoves. Like, I refuse to believe that that's not the right one. But right now, Bad Guy does not really have anything worth shoving. I mean, I guess Noxious. So you could get that longer range. But if Noxious dives that deep, it's going to die. And it's not like Bad Guys, or excuse me, it's not like our hero's maxed out or something. Notably, neither player went for a Terraform. Which, we watched Alien Engineer win with that, and we watched Alien Engineer lose with that. And against explicitly non-Terraform based strategy, so it's not necessary. Yo, Bad Guy with the Shove Shark and the Phantom. Shove Shark and Phantom. Our hero saying, oh, you got shoves? I got shoves of my own. Get out of my house. Something like that. Too tired to even whistle, chap. So, I don't know if this is pre or post patch. It looks like it's pre-patch. Maybe not. Point is, like, maybe you could have shoved that muffin to get a heal. Could you have gotten a heal right? You walk it to here, then you shove... Nah, you wouldn't have been able to make it. This was from the 7th. Would have been pre-patch. Excuse me. Alright, we get the heal going down on Hematic. Bad guys supplementing their team with Glob seems pretty good with both Reverse Heartbreaker as well as Shove Shark. Patch was the 8th, yeah, so then this would have been pre-patch. Octonauty's hilarious to me. Why do Octonauty's pupils get so wide when it does the finger wag animation? Like, watch Octonauty during its idle. When it does the finger wag, its pupils get enormous. They also do when it squishes down. Why does it do that? So this is risky. I don't like this play from our hero here, unless... So, Transposer. I'm pretty sure this is basically the same icon as Heartbreaker, just the one on Heartbreaker is unhappy. So the play here is... Oh, we gotta advance. Wait, what? Okay, so what ended up happening is our hero advancing. I was gonna say, Phantom can go here, pull the glob up, and then the glob eats the Hevo, but because of stuff that we couldn't see due to the patch, we ended up in this board state. We still get the play. Now, this glob has to have the lethal right now. Speedolas. I've been hearing good things about the Speedolas post-patch, too. I saw a number of people complimenting it. Yep, Glob, Nom-Nom-Noms, the Hematic, right off the bat. Shove Shark is in position, but, so is the Hevo. What the... What the what? So Bad Guy could have remedied this by putting the Noxious where the Glob ended up because... Well, actually, no, it probably would have... I think it would have still booped the Glob into the pit, and the Noxious would have just ended up on this abyss, so... Bro rejected death. He's just like, no. I refuse. Like, it was cool and all to do... Now that's... There you go. Shove Shark into Kaboom. I have a feeling that Onda's going to do that a lot. Heartbreaker's ability has no frown or smile, but it's purple, so it's just like the shadow. The silhouette, if you will. Bad guys setting up very defensively, adding their own, well, a third displacement, this time for their opponent. The sound the Speedos make when they're attacking is hilarious. That is pretty funny. It's the closest thing to a human voice. Well, other than Lippy, I guess. Our hero adding yet another displacement to their team. You can build almost an entire squad. You might be able to build an entire squad of displacement phobies now. There's just so many options at this point. Yo. That's a big brain play from Positive right there. That's a big brain play. Like, there are so... Arena's gonna get so hard with stuff like this, chat. Like, that's a good heads-up play. The shove into the yoink into the yoink? Seems good. Seems good. Probably have a noxious puke. Yep. Interesting. So they elected to go for this instead of the Octonaughty, presumably because of the poison, but the Octonaughty probably has a higher damage output still. And then this happens. I mean, Shove Shark really broken. I mean, honestly, I was trying to downplay it in the, you gotta manually advance. I was trying to downplay it in the hot takes video because I don't want to be too extreme with the hot takes. But real talk, did anybody look at Shove Shark, even if you assumed post-patch? These plays do not fall flat. Like, even if you assumed that baseline Shove Shark was the post-patch iteration, where it has a warm-up, it has a cooldown, whatever. Even in that iteration, this Phobie is insane, right? Like, it's just such a powerful ability. It might be fair now. Like, it might be fair. But it's still pretty damn good, right? It's still really, really, really good. GG? It's fair, but it makes the game way more complex. The thing is, I don't think it's strictly complexity. I'm not saying that you're saying that it is, but it is absolutely more complex because there's way, like, the quantity and type plays is now, like, shooting up exponentially. However, I think that it also makes the game deeper because there's so many other things to account for. There is a point where there's too much, though. Not on the depth side, but on the complexity side, where it's just, you can't reasonably account for that many scenarios. However, the counter argument is get good. Like, just be better. All right, we got a pinapple game. We're back on Noughts and Crosses here. A very close game that shows of an interesting aspect of Haffy, as many opponents simply choose to completely ignore him, which in this case was a fatal mistake. It sounds like the back of a book. Most people choose to ignore this phobie, but that is a fatal mistake. I wish I had it. I mean, wait, Haffy or Shove Shark? I'm assuming Shove Shark, but oh god. Ugh. Told you I'm wiped out, chat. Yeah, Shove Shark is real good. Shove Shark is real good. I'm glad that it's not ultra rare. I'm glad that it's a low rarity. This is a very interesting opener from our hero. Aside from the Haffy, like, Wiggy Droney, how much damage is Haffy doing? Let's take a peek. It's level 3, so 400 and change. We did see Haffy show up in Monster of the Week last night. If you didn't watch that game, you're going to want to go watch that game. Trust me. Personally, I'm still of the opinion that I don't think Haffy's very good. But it does cause weird stuff. Speaking of Haffy, how do I report a bug in Discord? In the main Discord, I think it might literally be called bugs. At that point, I'd use a Wiggy because the damage is not that rewarding. Yeah, it doesn't stack, but it is significantly tankier. So imagine something that has almost Wiggy level damage, but has twice as much health. Like, that's what you're kind of going for. Even if it, depending on what damages it, it might literally still be... Okay, I'm not going to lie. This game has nothing to do with Haffy. It has everything to do with our hero's Jinsting surviving at 21 health. Like, real talk. That is the game right there, right? Haffy's setting up the Wiggy takedown. Barzilla? Okay. It's a phobia you can put on the board. I'll have to forgive my yawning, chat. 4-2 panic point advantage. Is Wiggy dead? Wiggy lives to pinch another... Nope. No, it does not. Wiggy gets squashed under the heel of Jar. Alright, so our hero took a beating this turn. Like, they took a beating. Just for general information, normally Discord command is /bug, but the bot is down for a few days, and it's !bug in the meantime. DT dropping the knowledge. Thanks, DT. So obviously this is a pretty low stress level game, comparatively. It's not that low. This is a very strange one. With the double, with both obstacles broken on the bottom, this just controlling your opponent's panic point, or vault rather, is kind of comical. That's a lot of orange panic points and not that many blue phobies. I have to imagine that dies to the fire. We'll find out in a moment, so I'm just going to let it play out. Dead Stairmaster? Ooh, little K9000 body block. Okay, Molly Bully. Alright, alright. No, the Gravedigger lives. You don't want to see that. Wait, what? Why the hell did bad guy do that? I guess, like, that delays the Barzilla for a turn, but I feel like our hero's just gonna interact with your phobies. Like, they were not heart-pushing here. What is Haffy doing? Like, Haffy feels like they have no idea where they are. They're just laying on the ground, flinging themselves on the ground, rolling around. And then when somebody, like, says, hey, buddy, you're in the way, gonna freak out and throw a temper tantrum. I don't think Haffy gets invited to many parties. What do you think, chat? Bo mangles. Giggles his last. Cackles his last, I guess would be better. He doesn't really giggle. Giggles. Giggles. As one might expect. This game was a mess on both sides. I don't know what was happening in this game. Like, this game is just, like... This is all over the place. I'd invite Haffy to parties chill like that, bro. Fair. Fair. Haffy just, like, slapping the crap out of Unbearable, or trying to. You know the expression, bringing a knife to a gunfight? Haffy's showing up to a gunfight with, like, pillowcases. Not even pillows, just the pillowcases. Microscopic. Okay. That's a moly bully doing over 700 damage to the heart. That's some big boy damage. Dude, what is going on in this game? Like, I am so confused. There's so much... This looks like a puzzle, or like one of the advertisements for the game, where it's like, how do you ever get in these scenarios? Well, there you go. Down goes Minotaur? Sure. There's been so much effort for this bottom panic point, which is actually, again, I mentioned it earlier in the other game, and I think I did here too, that it's interesting seeing different games and how people value different parts of maps or different strategies or different phobies or whatever. So, for example, when we watch Alien Engineer play this map, when we watch A. Markin play this map, when we watch Potenzia play this map, when we watch Master Dark play this map, when we watch, whatever, Monster of the Week, Fright Night, no one takes this bottom panic point. But the last two games we watch, every player is hell-bent. Like, there is bloodshed over this bottom panic point. How much hard health does the heart have for big and small maps? Big maps, it's 8,000. Small maps, I think it varies. Like, some are 6,000, some are 7,100. But yes, DT is right. It depends on the league. Because all of the basic stats scale as you level up. Level up in leagues in particular. It's not based on, like, you could be stress level whatever. If you're in heebie-jeebies, it's going to be whatever heebie-jeebies is. 6K and 8K in level 1 play, yes. That sounds right. The 7,100 stuck in my head because that's what it was at for some game we watched yesterday. So, I'm just going to say, Haffy was damaged, like, once this entire game. And we missed it. Wait, seriously? Haffy was the last phobie left? And also, I said this before, but I am actually kind of upset that Haffy doesn't have, like, a dedicated animation for when it activates. It just has the stim stuff. And it was from fire too, yeah. Well, the fire wouldn't have activated him then. 30 times panic points for small maps and 40 times panic points for big maps, and it scales points in the round. Wait, what? Oh, we're talking about how they scale when you go up in leagues. So I think Haffy should have been like Ogre, where when it's in its enraged mode, it just looks different. It needs to look different. It's a strong pillowcase. Well, I mean, it's a pillowcase. You can put stuff in it afterwards. I didn't say it was stayed a pillowcase or just a pillowcase. I just said that Haffy brought a pillowcase. Now, what? All right, we got a little fratute action here on Hold Still. What do you got for us, fratute? Insane comeback with mechs against electric phobies. They've been kind of the talk of the town lately. I'm the nerd who actually calculated what the heart HP is based on. Fair. You know, you probably could have saved yourself a lot of effort, DT, if you just straight up asked, because I feel like they would have just told you. They probably would have just told you. Why is that, Gravedigger? Is it because there are two Gravediggers on the board? So I'm telling you, to me, this is fascinating. How many times we see players with non-Gravedigger openers on Hold Still, which I still maintain is a viable strategy, versus how many players just go into the easier strategy of, I'm going to put a Gravedigger on the board and terraform the crap out of the board. We've seen Both succeed at high levels. Oh, because of the mech boys? Fair. Okay, what is it? Did somebody put something in the water? Why are there so many Barzillas? I feel like since it's Barzilla, somebody's getting spiked drinks here. The newly buffed Oopsie Baby. Los Speedolos? Sure. El Speedolos? Yeah, it would be Los. There's two of them. I'm being a nerd trying to calculate the hard health and panic point damage for a particular level. Also, like, that Barzilla's randomly going in and diving a char. What? Again, what is going on in these games? Like, this is actually pretty good by Bad Guy. We'll give it to Bad Guy here. They get the block here, which just disrupts our hero's entire play pattern. I doubt there's enough damage here to kill this Barzilla. Because you get two attacks, one attack. And snowball. Did we watch this game? Hold on. Did we watch this game at some point? This feels really familiar, where I explicitly remember saying, oh, well, they can kill the Barzilla because they go two attacks, hit from Gravedigger, snowball Jar, and then somebody in chat goes, but wait, they just killed Jar, so they can't get it. Which I think is what's going to happen here. So, like, am I... I'm getting, like, a really weird deja vu here. So, yeah, not enough damage to kill the Barzilla. However, that Barzilla did take a beating. Is there enough damage to kill this Gravedigger? Oh, no! Our hero's hemorrhaging Phobies left and right. 4-to-1 panic point advantage and an enormous amount of pressure. Kong X Godzilla must be coming out soon. If not, why so many Barzillas? True. I do want to see that. I didn't see the early movies in the Monsterverse. Which doesn't really matter, I guess. But I did see Godzilla vs. Kong. And I thought it was fun. Like, I had fun watching that movie. Shout out to my Godzilla fans. Sparky. Okay, I am getting deja vu, chat. Did we watch this game? We had to have watched this game, right? When we get Primate number 10. I wonder if they will do that. Alright, we get a little Hematic Ginsting. Our hero does have to start turning the corner. And I think they kind of already have, to be honest. I think they've stabilized. Despite being down all the panic points, they're going to be able to push out. The Sparky is not really going to be able to connect anytime soon. I mean, aside from the power down, it just can't touch anything. Fratute redeemed the game review and we watch this? Okay, so I'm not imagining things. I mean, it's still on the list, so we'll still do it, but I'm not going to stop in the middle now. Alright, so we get the push here. Setting up some snipes. Get the challenge play to bring Oopsie Baby into range. Is this enough damage? Oh, with the meatball it will be. Down goes Barzilla. Well played. Very well played. Gonzo to back it up. Gonzo to back it up. Yeah, the heal on Sparky is whatever. Sparky pulled back so far after it got powered down. Double electrical. You know what's funny is there are so many conversations that come up constantly about how overpowered mechs are, and ironically, a lot of people claim that electric is too... I've seen a lot of complaints lately that the electric ability is too good. It's like, I don't know what planet you're on, but I don't think it's this one. Yeah, I don't think it's this reality. Feels like Fratute's kind of taunting them with a cowbell as the one key. Inoculus is reminding me of the automatons in Helldivers 2 chat. I played a lot of Helldivers 2 last night and tonight. Well, this morning and today. I guess would be my sense of time is a little skewed right now. 4 Phobies to 5, and there is a healer on bad guy's side, but there's also a Gonzo on our hero's side, so funny story about that. 953 damage going down from the Jin Sting alone. Not enough damage to kill it, though, but we do get the power down. A mere 41 damage. Bad guy clinging to life here. Yeah, that erratic's and that's just a dead erratic, right? Erratic is shockingly fragile. Erratic is shockingly fragile. Admittedly, this is 4 attacks, 2 from Oopsie Baby, 1 from the others, but, like... You just see Erratic go down pretty quickly a lot of the time. Like, it's very surprising. Now we can get the invade. I don't think this is enough damage on Sparky. Well, actually, it is. It should be enough damage. Down goes Sparky. Down goes bad guy's hopes and dreams. Stray shot onto the heart, because why not? Stabilizing with 1190 on the heart remaining. Well played, Fratute. Well played. And now it's just Fratute solving the math equation. What's 3 Phobies minus 3 Phobies? It's victory. GG. No, Sparky, the ab shoulders are gone. I forgot about that. I forgot about the ab shoulders. All right, chat. So we have the funny name that I mentioned earlier. It's Sneeblebeep. Like this is, what does this mean? What the hell is this? All right, we got somebody new to Game Breakdowns. It's Sneeblebeep. This sounds like Dr. Seuss. Like, I don't even know what to say to this, but I love this name. I love this name. All right. Scientists have recently uncovered a rare semi-smart scrungle play. Played this one on my phone. Should be easy to tell with the fact that it's a whole different user. Yeah. So apparently this is a alt/Smurf account for scrungle. Sneeblebeep. Tell me this doesn't sound like a weird creature from Dr. Seuss. And then I'll tell you you're lying, because this absolutely sounds like a Dr. Seuss creature. Wait, did anyone ever make an alt account named Swingin' Dick 69? I doubt it. I have a feeling that, like, that probably gets caught in some filter, right? I mean, how I tried to make... So, because Dragon Ball Z Fusion World, it's another digital card... Well, it's a physical card game, too, but it's another card game that recently officially launched, like, last week, right? No, it should be Swingin' Richard Gravedigger. So it just launched, and I tried to make my account. And of course, I tried to make it RT Chomp GG. And Chomp is a banned word in that game. And it's just like, really? Okay. I mean, I'm glad to a degree. It's like, okay, that's good that they're taking people trolling and offensive crap seriously. But it's also like, Chomp? Okay. If you say so. So bad guy getting overwhelmed here by Sneeblebeep. You can use Nom instead. I think I just went CHMP. I think. I don't remember. Get a little Kerbloom action? Okay. RT Nom GG 69. Naturally. No, you need XX on either end too. 360 no scope XX 69. Gesundheit. Claiming lives. Taking names. Can't get a heebie-jeebie special here because bad guy did break a bunch of the blocks, but bad guy under fire here. I don't know what this Kerbloom is doing. I imagine we're going to get a Gravedigger break into Kerbloom connection as the good play here for Sneeblebeep. Are you tired? I'm very tired, fratute. Could you tell by me saying that I'm very tired like 100 times? Alright, we get a little noxious action. What does Snappy actually spit at you? Is it literally just spit? That would be a very difficult pause to get. To see what the projectile is. It's kind of a pretty fast-moving projectile. So this is likely a dead Gravedigger. Like, there's just no way that it lives, right? But Panic Point Advantage has remained blue. Bad guy still needs to do stuff. Didn't we establish it was bones? Like, we've talked about it. It probably is a bone. I do think we've had this conversation before, Kuro. I feel like Snappy's head was smashed by a car or something. It looks too flat. Well, that's because it doesn't actually have a head. It is just, like, it's just the shell. Dead noxious. So we didn't get the Gravedigger into Kerbloom, but we did get the displacement to still snipe some stuff. Honestly, though, this doesn't seem unwinnable for bad guy. Yeah, it's just the shell. Like, if you look at it, the lips here, like the mouth of Snappy is just, like, there should be a turtle head that comes out, but it's just a shell. Snappy is sick and sneezes impossibly. Wait, in light of my unfortunate pack pull, do any of you have any good Leshy strats? I don't have Leshy. You got me. Low Hematic. We get the sheep connection. Fart explosion. Kind of creepy. Welcome to Phobies. Well, she has good stats, but it's 7 key and ultra rare, so most people just play Muffin or Clinico. I mean, we have seen Leshy win games. We have seen Leshy win games. It is a thing that can happen. In fact, I think it was A. Markin that did on Hold Still, I want to say. This is going back a while. Speaking of Muffin, I'm not going to lie. I'm not really clear on how our hero wins this unless bad guy holds back and doesn't do anything. Like, if bad guy does not stand on the okay, so they did go for a panic point. Because they're at 665. Like, 2 panic points probably just kills them. Is Phobies supposed to be a creepy game or like a Disney scary sort of thing? I think it's beyond Disney scary, quote unquote. Although Disney has produced like true horror movies years ago. I forget what they were, but I do remember this coming up before. But there are I think it is supposed to be a little scary, but obviously not true horror movie, right? And we get the invade. I don't know if this is the play they were talking about, but like this is a good heads up play by sneeblebeep. I just have to say their name one more time, sneeblebeep. You get the W because honestly, like that was looking bad. That was not looking good. But we got there. GG. Sneeblebeep. I was trying to find which... I forgot who the bad guy was already, but I was trying to see the stress level, so at the time it was 13 to 25. Sneeblebeep. Alright, we'll get in, like, 2 more, chat. And then I gotta call it a night. I'm just wiped. That's what happens when you don't sleep. Bad guy could have body blocked? Absolutely. Bad guy had outs. Got 9K coffee already? Yeah, so the... it's 8K coffee for the content affiliate program, and it just came in after the pack opening. It came in after the pack opening. Otherwise, that wouldn't be there. It's the night of noughts and crosses, apparently. I almost threw... Well, just random action. I need to send some friendlies with Cosmos. I have him added, and I think we could produce some interesting games. And Cosmos has a lot to offer. We'll see. Again, it's funny. Fright Night and Monster of the Week, people are allergic to taking this bottom panic point, but on the ladder, people are all about it. This Maggie's just dead, though. And it could have died from any of a million things, so I'm not a huge fan of sending the Maggie here. Like, that's just 2 keys to... Like, I don't know. Even if you just went Gravedigger to open it for later, I feel like that's better. Get a little Moly Bully action. Moly definitely dropped down the charts, I think. Would have been... Like, I had high hopes for Moly for a very long time, and it's just... not a thing. Has anybody ever submitted a draw game before? I think we've had that. We've definitely observed them. I don't remember if they were... like, submitted like this, or if somebody had just said, hey, watch this game, it's a draw sort of thing. Oh no, three keys? What? What, the Moly? Yeah, it didn't take it. Didn't take it. So what could have happened here is, for anybody who's unaware, you can break the bottom block, assuming you have keys and space and stuff. Break the bottom block, send in Finnegan, and then just boop whatever's there into oblivion. But just random, electing to go a different path. Walking the path less traveled. Although, to be honest, I don't think that path is really traveled at all. Almost nobody does this because not many people go for the bottom panic point. Wow, that is aggressive from bad guy, getting all up on the spider. Never thought of that with the Finnegan play. It just doesn't come up that often. You don't have Finnegan, that's a good reason why you didn't do it. You see, you need to want it bad enough. If you wanted Finnegan more, then maybe you'd have it. Just saying. Oh my god, just random. Oh, bad guy. They may or may not have some regrets. They may have some regrets after that sequence. This may be a dead spider. That may be their consolation prize, but if it is a dead spider, I think they're going to lose their Moly Bully and the Bachelor in this exchange also, so it's like, is this really any better? I guess they get their own spider online, so there is that. Yep, there goes Moly Bully. Actually requiring more damage than I thought. I would have assumed the Bachelor dies too, but that's alright. Our hero's Moly Bully taking the top panic point. Now it's going to be a menace. It can just threaten the heart the rest of the game. So I can either get a guaranteed new rare Phobie from a horrific pack when I reach 50 in the event, and then wait till the end of the event to get the rest of the beans for a Dreadful, or do I do Dreadful when I reach level 50, and then wait till the end of the event to get a new guaranteed rare? So you're just asking which order to do this in? Whatever makes you happy. If I'm reading this correctly, it's the identical thing. It's just which one are you waiting for and which one are you doing immediately. The Moly positioning there specifically to avoid the spider, I believe. Yeti coming out for reasons. Okay, sure. I don't know. You got yourself a Yeti. So freeze into poison, that's cute. That's the bad pusher shark. Yeah, that one's a little different. I don't understand why Slammerhead appeared here. I mean, there is an Abyss. Well, there's a few Abyss tiles, so, like, that's a thing. I didn't know you could pull Ice Phobies. Yes, you can still manipulate them. That's why I was saying earlier that I think if you have, if one of your Phobies gets frozen, you can probably push it with Shove Shark. Or reposition it with Phantom. I thought Ice was like Gargle's Petrify. Not quite. Obviously. But you learn something new every day. Like I said, Moly Bully being a menace. Shove Shark into the fire. Ride Spider, chat. We haven't had that conversation in a while. I don't feel like going through that again. If you want to eat spiders, have fun. I'm not going to do that. I've used Yeti a few times since I got him, but I never actually found a situation in which freezing was better than dealing damage. It's very rare. It's very rare. It's the same sort of thing for, like, Dial. If you can, like, if their team is all in on a single Phobie, isolating it is as good as eliminating it, because it's off the board for 2 turns, right? However, you're obviously not really removing it, so there's the risk of, hey, you got to still deal with it. But if they're all in on a singular Phobie, you can freeze it. Ice Cream gives you the opportunity to actually, like, interact on that level early on. Like, you can just set them back a Phobie for a couple turns, and that can be very powerful, but Ice Cream is very difficult to set up, so. Ice is like getting dialed twice. One way of putting it. Playing Ring Around the Rosie with the Yeti seems like it. Seems like it. You know, so I've been premiering the videos on YouTube, chat. So when you premiere them as opposed to just schedule them, it lets people be in there live while it's premiering and chat, because it's supposed to be like the creator hangs out and discusses the video, I guess. But because I interact with chat and I read chat, people thought I was live streaming it at the time. Which is kind of funny, because they're like, how come they're not answering me? But they're answering, clearly they're answering someone else's chat. It's like, well, it's because it's a recording of Twitch chat. Which is funny. It amused me. By the way, I really thought that this Molly was just going to go nuts on the heart and just body it. And that was going to be the deciding factor for this game. But instead, we really do kind of have a game on our hands. Or had a game on our hands. Panic point advantage hero, though, this is all well in hand. You have a... Like, the panic points are even. I feel like, yeah, I don't know if this was necessary pulling the fire ant back. I feel like you would have been better off just going for it. You're ahead. If they take time off to claim panic points, that means they're not hitting your heart, and you have a pretty significant clock. But either way, they took time off to go fight the fire ant, so like they're never going to be able to stop Holy Bully and Snot Monster. Unless you pull the Snot Monster back. I guess if you kill this thing, it's fine. Sure. Sure. And here's where I almost threw. Yeah, like... You are so far ahead that it almost doesn't matter. I mean, since you almost threw, it clearly didn't matter. But, like, I think you just stay on the heart. With that many attacks, who cares about the panic points? Like, you're ahead, they're not that high on health to begin with. It's not like they're at full health and you have to run the whole race. It's just slap it a few times and the game's over. Yeah, you do not need to defend. This game should have been over 8 turns ago. Wait, does... Oh my god, wow. Yeah, this did not need to be this close. Yikes. One might say, oof. That... Zoinks. Alright, Shaggy, calm down. Just random. Just doing it for the lulz. Just this almost feels like you were trolling your opponent. It's like, like that Geico commercial with the guy with the fishing, like the dollar on the fishing rod. He's like, oh, you almost got it. You gotta be quicker. I did it for the Vine. Yep. Gotta do it for the highlight reel. Just to put you on the edge of your seat. Exactly. Like, you gotta make it a little exciting. You can't just, you can't just run them over. Alright, chat. This might be the last one. Might be the last one. I'll check after this game. Dontinklsnif, welcome back. Love how everyone's doing their own thing. Meanwhile, there's a worm fighting in the center of their map. So props to Bad Guy for this one. I got a good laugh out of it. What? What does that mean? Those are words, and they technically form sentences, or a sentence. I think that was just a run-on sentence there, but... Wait, what? Oh my god. Yeah, this would be a good game to end on, chat, because, like, what? Who the hell opens Sucky on this map? I feel like Sucky sucks in this map. Yeah, I think I'm with you, fratute. Probably Sucky's fighting in the set. Well, yes, now the notes make a lot more sense. But here's the thing, like, whoever Sucky is on the spa has to win, right? Like, in that pool noodle fight... Alright, from now on, we're calling Sucky a pool noodle, chat. I think Sucky's much funnier as a pool noodle. I have to pay respect to bad guy, not that I wasn't going to do it anyways, fair. We're grinding for the event, for sure? Probably. That seems like the most reasonable assertion for this. Yeah, I mean, we're 100% in Monsterville now. So somebody said they hate this map. Gravedigger said they hate this map. Honestly, like, I don't mind Scopoceum. I think that it is... We're coming full circle on the stream, chat. We talked about it earlier with while we were watching a Mount Blight game, but I like the idea that maps have different primary strategies. So some maps are... They are knife fights. You get in there and you are mauling Phobies. Then there are some maps where it's this delicate, intricate dance about the panic points. Then there are some maps where they are just, all right, we're split pushing for the heart, or we're beelining for the heart. We're not even split pushing. We're just going. And some are a mix of some kind. Like there are, instead of panic points, it's like control the stim, like on Pluto or stuff like that. And it's fine to like one type of map, dislike another type of map. It's fine. I think it's good and healthy that there are different strategies. And this is another reason why I personally want to get best 2 out of 3 in Monster of the Week and most tournaments. But the problem is that until we have chess timers, the games just take too long. They just take too long. Can't wait to get attacked by a Sucky the next time I go to the pool. Well, I hope that that's not the case. I know we were talking about pool noodles, but, like, if there's a leech in the pool, I would recommend not going into that pool. Ted, Jill, and Mummy don't work on Scopoceum? Yeah, I could see that being the case. I think you're going to the wrong pool. Yeah, you may want to get that checked out. They may need some more chlorine. I mean, I'm not an expert. Charon, let's go. Wait, Charon and Honey Bear? That's a lot of poop. That's a lot of poop. Sucky is a tapeworm? Is it, though? I'm pretty sure Sucky's supposed to be a leech. I've never seen that much mud. Like, that was an enormous amount. You mean your pool isn't brown and muddy? Yeah. So you're saying you're just going swimming in a river. That's not a pool. That's just a lake. Isn't a tapeworm a leech? We talked about this a couple streams ago, or maybe last week. I'm not up on my worm morphology. Like, somebody in the comments or in chat, like, we're watching the games, somebody out there Google it for me. Is a tapeworm a type of leech? No, we talked about heartworms. It wasn't brainworms, it was heartworms, because there was a Sucky that was punching the heart, and I was talking about heartworms and explaining those. I remembered the conversation because I was telling my wife about it afterwards. I'm like, hey, you know what I did? She's like, oh, so how was the stream? And I'm like, oh, well, I explained heartworms to chat. She's like, what? What is wrong with you? Again, with the poop everywhere. You need a mop on aisle 5. The Charon was also for traps, didn't work out too well. I mean, I get it. Oh, we get a high 5. I mean, this is a hard push map. We didn't actually to explain it to us about the the tapeworm leech thing. Like, I would assume, I mean, they're obviously both types of worms, but, like, I would assume that a tapeworm is not a leech, because a leech drinks blood. Like, it's a parasite. I mean, they're both parasites. But it attaches to a host, and what it feeds on is different, whereas a tapeworm sits in your esophagus. And, like, as far as I know, it doesn't drink your blood. It's eating the food that's going down. How many turns have those suckies been at it? All the turns. Every turn. Any turn. An eternity. How about that? Boom. Got him. Puns. Tapeworms and leeches are parasites, I thought. They are. But that doesn't mean they're the same. Ticks are also a parasite. That doesn't make it a worm. The other phobies are making bets? Yeah. I mean, our hero, I told you, our hero has the high ground. They have the spa, and they have won the sucky fight! They've won, chat. They've taken it down. They live in the intestines? Fair. Actually. That's a fair point. I did say esophagus, but that is not where they actually live. My sucky is MVP, clearly. You know what's funny is you were probably, like, the sucky... Why would you go Akira now? My guy, what is happening? Okay, so they're in different phylums. This is when High Five hit ad started playing Womp Womp. I'm not really clear on why this Akira showed up. Like, what does the Akira do with it? Yo, oh my god, chat, we've had a lot of things with repeated appearances tonight, and Yeti is, in fact, one of them. This is kind of a weird puke, because it does turn off the lava tiles, which gives them better positioning options, but I guess it is what it is. Tapeworms are more foodborne pathogens, and leeches are more pond, river, lakes. Lake livers? I know what you're trying to say, but the idea that a lake has internal organs, one of which happens to be a liver, is amusing to me. So here's the one thing that is somewhat risky about this, and I say somewhat because there's really no risk because our hero still has a ton of hard health left. You freeze the High Five here, which denies you access to getting to the squiggles. Not like it really matters. Good Akira. Excellent. A well-invested 9 keys. Down goes High Five. A worthy effort from bad guy, but 5 keys remain for our hero. No keys remain for our bad guy. Well played, GG. Not bad, not bad. Dad, I think I'm going to title this one of Worms and Poop. Honey Bear is a, tardigrade. I don't think tardigrades are leeches. Again, I'm not up on my leech morphology, but... So when are we getting a praying mantis phobia? Honestly, Koro, I'm a little surprised that we haven't got one, because praying mantises are, like... most insects, like the insect world, and arachnid world, like the bug world, is horrifying. Nature in general is horrifying when you look at a lot of things. Should have used those 5 keys for the event. They might have been maxed out on phobies. Probably not possible. Could be one infected by that weird parasite that caused them to go into water. I mean, there's plenty of funguses that do that, too. They don't make them go into water, but I've talked about it before. I read a book. Well, I listened to the audiobook of The Children of Time, and it's a sci-fi book where way in the future, I won't give the whole plot away, but they were trying to... The humans invented a virus that causes rapid evolution, and then they tried to put monkeys on a planet, infect them with the virus, and then be like, all right, well, we started humans on another planet. Except it goes catastrophically awry, and instead of the monkeys evolving, the monkeys just burn up in orbit. They never even make it to the planet. And instead, the virus infects spiders. So now you have a hyper-advanced, hyper-evolved species of spiders. And one of the chapters, because the book goes through their evolution, which obviously takes place over the course of several thousand years, but they cram like tens of millions, hundreds of millions of years of evolution into, say, like 10,000 years. And the story jumps between the human characters and the spiders. And one of the spider things was dealing with a fungal infection, like a plague. So think of like the bubonic plague, but like the bubonic plague as far as wiping out huge swaths of the population on Earth. Same sort of thing for the spiders, except it was this fungus, and what the fungus did was kind of like the cordyceps fungus. It infects the body, takes control of it, and then forces them to climb up like the trees or whatever so that it can try and spread more spores and continue to reproduce. And it was a big plot point in the story. So I won't... So Planet of the Apes Spider Edition? Kind of. I mean, there's a lot more to it. And apparently it's a trilogy. So I'm curious. I won't spoil the ending in case people want to read it. It's not a new book or anything, at least as far as I know. It was interesting. To me, it was more... Which I don't mind it. Like, it was way more world building than actual story. Like, it was very much obvious that this first book was like, here's all the major characters is before we launch into our trilogy. Or like, not the major characters, because the next book is supposed to be like another 10,000 year jump in the future from the previous events or something. So it's just like, here's how the characters or the societies of the humans and the spiders then end up interacting once they finally meet each other. It was interesting. Like, I thought it was a really cool idea, and I will say that the author did a very good job of figuring out they're not just, oh, well, they're humans, just they happen to have 8 legs. No, their society is wildly different, and their technology is not just, well, they invented computers, and everybody has a keyboard, just they have a bigger keyboard because they have 8 legs. Like, no, they have a wildly different set of technology, and their version of computers is organic based, which is actually really cool. So, like, I thought the author did a really good job. What are the books called? So it's the first one is The Children of Time. I did post about it in my Discord before. Let me just make sure that's the right one. Children of Time. Yeah, it's the first book is Children of Time. The author is Adrian Tchaikovsky. Came out in 2015. And then there's several other books in the series that I haven't read yet. Grossly cool. Like, it's a really cool idea. And the end, like the last few chapters are super tense. And like I said, I don't want to spoil it because, like, if you want to read it, it is, like I said, it's very much world building. It's kind of like, well, here's the state of affairs in both worlds, the human world and then the spider world. And then as they, over the course of the story, as you'd imagine, they converge. So it's trying to set this whole thing up for what was clearly going to be a series. So there's a lot of groundwork being laid for things, especially because you have to bounce back and forth between 2 different sets of characters, including in the spider side, because it's over the course of thousands of years, it's not the same spiders. Although they use the same character names. So, like, there's 3 main spiders, Fabian, Bianca, and, what's the third one? I just had it up. Fabian, Bianca, and Portia are the 3 main spiders. But when they show up again in each chapter, it's like 50 generations later, they just happen to have the same name. Have you seen the Will Smith movie with zombies? You mean I Am Legend? Because that's vampires, not zombies. If that's the one you're talking about. All right, chat. We're getting weird. I'm going to call for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We got Variety tomorrow. We got Fright Night coming up at the end of this month. Hit up the Random Thoughts Discord for details. Of course, we're going to have Monster of the Week going on. Again, no phobie bans. We're going to keep an eye on Attractor, but no phobie bans at the moment. Attractor, honestly, statistically, didn't seem to be doing that well, unless people are lying. You know, I can only go with self-reporting. I didn't comb through every single game. I could, but I didn't. So, I've asked the devs before, hey, can I, like, is there any way to run this kind of analysis for me to do it? Like, nah, can't do that. Can't give you access to the tools, because obviously they're doing it. So, but for now, chat, that is going to do it. Be back tomorrow, like I said, for Variety. More Phobies next week. I have some other Variety ideas and things coming up. Hopefully going to try and record those this week. We shall see. But as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.